Thank you so much for staying with us this morning. Time now to review the news. A lot of matters arising, but of course, we're happy to bring you everything that's happening in front of the newspapers. This morning, we're joined by Victoria Bright, she's lawyer, an entrepreneur, and as well Dr. Vondee and Bomfeh Jr. He is CEO of Census. You know him as Kabila, but as well, he's a lecturer at the University of Professional Studies here in Accra. Peli, how was your weekend? Good.
It was brilliant.
Perfect.
A lot of work, but yeah, it's fine.
That's what we live for, right?
Exactly, you know.
Okay, what's happening in front of the papers?
Well, let's start with the Ghanaian publisher. And you know, this month is a month in which the MPP will decide who becomes their flag bearer. So campaign is heating up in the MPP. So a lot of the papers have stories on both Ken and Dr. Bami, and some of them too have on Dr. Brian Achampon. So from the front page of the publisher, Ken can lead MPP to victory. That's according to Dr. KK Sapon. You know him, right? Former CEO of GNPC there. He has thrown his support behind Kennedy Japan to lead the MPP ahead of the 2028, the January 31st presidential primaries of the MPP. He says that Kennedy possesses the qualities it needs to get the MPP victory in 2028. Details are on page 3 of the paper. In that same, on that same paper, MPP race 118 former candidates endorsed Bawumia, and that's talking about former parliamentary candidates. They had their news conference last week in which they said he's the well-marketed candidate to lead the MPP into 2028, and therefore they are supporting him to win the 31st January primaries. On the same paper, KGL backs review of NLA deal. Police grab 7 highway robbers. And when you look at their age, between, I think, 27 and 39, these 7 people have been grabbed by the police after an operation there. Let's do with the other papers now for you, and do the graphic business. And the banner headline, MPA pilots 24-hour fuel station operations, set up committee to oversee implementation. So according to the story, they've set up a committee to look at the modalities of piloting the 24-hour economy at some fuel stations, because according to the MPA CEO, he believes that the petroleum downstream sector can play a major role in the 24-hour operations. And so he tags that committee to set up all the modalities needed to implement the piloting of this at some fueling stations. And they've gone ahead to contact the security services to improve security or to address security gaps at some the selected fueling stations. Details are on page 6 of the paper. BOG to set up subsidiary to manage idle funds. Oh, okay. All right. So let's see how that one goes. What Ghanaians consumed most last year? Well, so if you're a business person into consumables, maybe you have to check page 10 of the graphic business to give you a fair idea of what Ghanaians consumed most last year. Well, let's do other papers. I'm sure hair will be in there. Hair. Okay, no, consumables is different from, or are they all the same?
I think consumables will be this.
What we add, so hair won't be part. Yeah. So maybe you see rice there,
oil,
and they would, you know, the favorite towels. Remember at a point in time, towels was one of the most, yes, was one of the most imported items to Ghana.
Chaki.
Yeah, I think it was last year or 2. So
what about
2024? So you check it out.
What about Willie?
Yeah, I think they're all there. Well, Daily Guide, Ghana Embassy confirms Ofori-Atta's U.S. detention. I saw this statement over the weekend. And 2024 MPP PCs endorse Bawumia. Story is on page 6 there. My presidency will be about jobs. That's Ken speaking. 7 highway robbers nabbed. KGL welcomes government contract review, and that's because President John Mahama has ordered for a comprehensive review of the contract between KGL and the NLA to ensure value for money. All right, let's do other papers now. The Chronicle, 118 former parliamentary candidates pledged to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They say that in the scheme of affairs, is best to represent the party. Details are in the Chronicle. Give me the power and I'll give you jobs. That Ken say. He says in his private capacity he's employed thousands, and therefore when he wins to become president, jobs will be core to what he will do. Brian wins grassroots support in the northern regions, and according to the story, he's wrapped up his campaign in the northern region, and many have described that as one that they haven't seen in recent years. So get details on page 3 of the Chronicle. The Ghanaian Times, President Mahama orders review of NLA KGL contract. I told you about it a few minutes ago. Ken Ofori-Atta to appear before U.S. immigration judge on January 20. That's a story that a lot more people will be following, and the Attorney General is the one that reviewed this. SNIT increases monthly pensions by 10%, but CSPF says it is inadequate. If you read the story, this is the coalition of people on pensions already, and they say that if you look at the increment, particularly for people who are the lowest paid, it's not enough. And they appreciate what SNIT is doing, but SNIT can do better, because according to the story, the lowest paid on the scheme will now receive 400 instead of 300 from last year. So details are on page 11. Deposit mobilization strategy strengthens NIB PLC's financial performance. That's it for the Ghanaian Times. Let's do other papers there. Okay, let's do the online and go on to Major Online. Mahama government clears $1.47 billion energy sector debt, restores World Bank guarantee. Okay, that's good news there. Get details on that. Mahama departs for World Economic Forum, and national security tends to public cleanup to curb prostitution in Tamale. And that's it there for you. There are a lot more stories on myjoyonline.com, but we'll leave it here and hand over to you.
Thank you so much. That was quick, Kojo. Thank you. Except that the Ghanaian Times is reporting a very worrying story on page 3. I think you saw it before we get into the other matters. But we're also joined by the MP for Chifo Eti Mokwa, Honorable David Vondee. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Right, so another worrying. Vicky says that man kills girlfriend for refusing him sex.
Whoa.
Another thing, man kills brother, wife at Brekum. One page reporting about 3 killings. That's very worrying. And the age of this man, believed by the police, is just 30.
Wow.
And then the victim, or the deceased, is just 24 years.
Wow. What a
This
waste.
is very,
Waste
very,
of
very, very
lives.
worrying. Yeah.
It's worrying because we were talking about this whole abuse and that trend, and people, I think the last time we spoke about this, a man had just killed someone over some dispute, his child, over some food dispute or something. I mean, we have to value human life better than this.
I'm just surprised because,
worrying.
Well, a person, and if you look at, so it says that man believed to be in his late 30s has been arrested by Ewutu J. Police Command for killing his girlfriend with concrete block at Ewutu Yamwa Nkwanta in the Ewutu Senya West District. Now, the deceased, a 24-year-old trader, identified only as Sister Yab, was found murdered in cold blood with a concrete block placed on her face after the deceased committed the act. Police sources say the suspect is a resident. They went on to say that, in fact, the person inflicted some machete wounds on her first.
Wow.
Before the concrete
And
block.
the reasons for these murders, not that any murder is justifiable, but I mean, they're just so flimsy.
Very much.
It's so flimsy.
For self-defense.
You know, what is going on? So is it a mindset thing or something endemic in our society that has to be nipped in the bud before it becomes too prevalent?
Surely, wouldn't this person be showing signs
or some mental
something that could at least draw your attention to the fact that it could do something to you, or just a one of anger?
Probably, but you know, we ignore mental health issues in this country unless someone is stark naked and walking around, and we'll say, "Wow, that person needs help." We literally ignore these things.
So, how are you feeling about this story? Just one page reporting 3 killings already.
It's sad and unfortunate. death is a part of us, but when it comes in this manner, it assumes a different nature, that one begins to worry why that should happen. And I think sometimes we take so many things for granted. When we see certain signs, we should quickly act on them. There's a saying that if the animal would not bite you, it will not even bear or show you the teeth. What it means is that to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Now, when we see tendencies, somebody in a play, child say, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I will kill you. You hear people say that and you take it for granted. And then eventually, I don't think that this may have just happened all of a sudden. It may have been rehearsed over time.
Yeah.
And so it's a caution to all of us. It's sad.
Really sad.
Sad, and we can only say condolences to the family.
Yeah.
But say that let's take precautions. Let's take precautions. You cannot be careful enough. But we need to be careful. We cannot be careful enough, but we need to be careful.
What you have to say?
I mean, it's sad, but good morning to our viewers. And Happy New Year. I think this year, this is the first time coming here. Yeah, and Happy New Year to your good self.
Yeah.
And my co-panelists. This is a very worrying story, okay? And the excuses and the reasons why these murders do happen are things that are so worrying. How would you kill a woman just because he refuses you sex?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, and that must be for a different reason, maybe mental issues. And but you cannot do that and say, okay, you have a justifiable reason why you murder anybody. There is no justifiable reason why somebody should be murdered, unless, of course, you are, protecting your life. There is somebody trying to kill you, and maybe you overpower the person. Other than that, there is no reason whatsoever, that you should murder anybody. And the reasons we're seeing, I think that our mental health, issues, education, and examinations would have to be looked at, because it's worrying. My condolences to the family, but that will not bring anything. We can say all the condolences, but you lost life, and these are sometimes breadwinners of very large families, and to be killed just like that. I think the police should be able to do their work, and sometimes the investigation should go beyond only the individuals that perpetrated the act, because there may be so many other reasons, so many people involved,
right?
So many reasons why people are murdered, and then they'll use one reason to say, okay, that's why it happened. But if you dig down the issues, you realize that sometimes there are many issues that okay. So for me, the investigation should sometimes go beyond the individual that perpetrated the act only, and so we can have a lasting, solution. Like my brother Kwabena said, Doc said, you have to be careful. But how much?
How careful can you?
I mean,
my God,
can you be?
The person who says "I love you" finishes you with the concrete block. Not even the nicest way of killing a person. But anyway,
for that reason.
So maybe this is where I'll bring in the providential path. No, that we must seek prayer and seek the face and favor of God. There is a world war going on between the forces of evil and the forces of good. And it is by the sheer grace of God that sometimes we go and come back. And I want us to see that a lot of this evil that happen, of course, the law enforcement agencies must work and do, their work, and make sure that people who perpetrate these acts are actually punished to serve as a deterrent, that when you are caught, you will not be spared. You don't have a right over a woman because she is your wife. You don't have a right over a man because he is your husband. It's a relationship. It must be bonded in respect. It must be contingent on valuing each other's life. But above all, let us seek the face of God. And in seeking the face of God, seeking to walk with God, we must learn the ways of God. Love, truth, justice, mercy, humility, and ensure that at the end of the day, you are doing what is right.
Very well said, Doc. So over the weekend, guys, a big news broke. Often when you hear ICE, then you know that it is deportation, immigration and customs enforcement, particularly in America. You definitely will hear that, and it will be in relation to deportation. Then a much bigger would be our former finance minister up in arms with ICE. Now, there was that controversy. Is it related to his extradition process? What could it be? The Attorney General put clarity to it when he sat with Samson Ladengenene on Newsfile and said that it's got nothing to do with that, except that his not expiration of his visa, because of course the visa was revoked, because then his visa would expire in February, and that we're working with the fact that that visa was revoked based on the fact that his office, the Attorney General's office, has been working closely with the Americans as well. This is where we are with that butt-up. Doc, I'll just start with you on that. The whole conversation around Ken Ofori-Atta and where we are with it.
Difficult to start.
It's not difficult, but it is sad and sickening for a country that has come this far, that we tend to play with serious matters in ways that, for me, erodes public confidence and public trust. Why? My big sister Vicky is here. The law is very clear. If someone is suspected of an offense or a wrongdoing, we go through due process. Invite the person for questioning if we want to question the person. When the person comes, the first caution statement is that be careful what you say, because what you say can be used against you in the court of law. Implicitly, we are telling the person that you have a right to remain quiet and not say anything, not answer any question that we provide. And yet, that will not stop the process of seeking justice against or for the wrong that we suspected the person committed, because our suspicion came out of an incident or certain happenings. Here is a case we suspect Ken Ofori-Atta of some wrongdoing. We have made certain attempts as a state. Invite him, we went through his house. Remember the early days.
Yeah.
People who were not entitled to go to his house went to his house. Later on, there were apologies. We've gone through all that. The gentleman has not been arraigned before any court yet. But we know that some charges have been
filed.
No, I don't know whether they have been filed. I don't know.
They have.
Whether they've been preferred against him.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is.
Censure.
Yes. The man is outside the jurisdiction. What is this whole hula baloo about? We are putting him on Interpol. We are doing this. A person guilty of an offense can be tried in absentia if the person does not avail him or herself. The law allows that. Why are we making it look as if Ken Ofori-Atta is not in the country, he cannot be prosecuted? Who says that?
Well, I think that up until late last year, they had started the process.
Yes, so what is the big deal about, what is the big deal about it? That's my point. That we tend to be joking with some of these things. If we are serious about it and we have the facts, let's go ahead. Who is Ken Ofori-Atta that when he is found guilty, after he has failed to avail himself, or even said that he will not be represented by lawyers, which is his right to do, and he is found guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction, he will dare say that he will evade or will run away from justice? He cannot.
But we've not heard anything from Sedinata Maklo, maybe? When she was tried.
Please, don't let us confuse the issues. We are talking about what you put on the table.
No, but
Sedinata, again, that is another symptom of how we joke in this country.
My question really is that if we went that same route, will we not end the status well?
You see, the point is that was the state serious at all?
They did try her in absentia and then they...
But did the state try to bring her? That's my point. If the state tried to bring her and it failed, that's when you say that that route cannot be taken. I am telling you that if we do it and we want to bring Sedinata Maklo to this country, she's not above the law. The transactions are too many in Ghana's public space. If I know MFA, we'll come and do some theatricals, optics. No, let's talk it this way, let's do it that way, and the person gets away with it.
Is that the feeling you get? Or that
feeling? I am telling you, that's what I know, that's what I think. Otherwise, who is Sedinata Maklo? Who is she that she will be in outside this country when she is supposed to face justice here? And don't tell me the American government would
protect somebody
who is supposed to face justice here if we have gone through the right protocols. You see, my point is that a lot of the things that we do in our public space with the greatest respect, most times they are for theater. And that's what hurts me. The more you get to know things, the less you want to talk. But it is sickening. My point is, Ken Ofori-Atta is not above the laws of Ghana. Let's stop making it look as if the state is disempowered to prosecute or seek justice against him in his absence. The law entitles him to even be here and say that he will not say anything to our investigators. He's not coming to help your case. I mean, he's not come to think of it, that come and help me ground my case against you. Who will do that? Who will do that?
Does it mean anything to you that all of these things are happening concurrently, where the counts that have been filed against him are happening already in court in absentia, and then the Attorney General as well still finding other means to extradite him back in? And
I'm saying this extradition thing is a fluke. Let the Attorney General go ahead to prosecute his case. If he's you see, why? Criminal prosecution is burden of proof beyond every reasonable doubt. He will have the responsibility to come and create doubts in the case of the prosecution. If he says, I won't come, and he doesn't send lawyers, and he is within the right, or within the permits range of the law, what is your difficulty going ahead to do what you have a right to do?
I like that question that you have asked. Vicky's a lawyer. In your years of practice, what kind of difficulty can a lawyer face in situations like this? Why are we where we are?
Yeah, I think, why are we where we are? I don't know what's going on in the mind.
But please, let me just say this. You see, it doesn't look good for Ken Ofori-Atta's own public image that all this is going on. But who knows? At the end of the day, that is the path he has chosen. And I'm saying that he's entitled to that. So as much as publicly people are saying he appears to be running away from this, the point is that he hasn't done any wrong by choosing that path. It is available to him.
Yes,
thank you.
No problem. There's a lot that can be said about all of this. For me, my point is very simple. if you're a public official, and in this case, Ken Ofori-Atta was responsible for all the finances, all our money in this country. So if you are a public official, you should be prepared to account for your tenure if and when you are invited to do so. That's my starting point. You should not conduct yourself in a way that, rightly or wrongly, may lead the public, the Ghanaian public, to think you're running away from that basic expectation, and it is a legitimate expectation of accountability as a public officer. So all this is unfortunate that we find ourselves in this position. And it may be that the government is bringing him back because, look, we talked about the Sedina Tamaklo case, for example. Isn't it a Pyrrhic victory if you try someone in absentia and you find them guilty and they are not here? And what message are you really trying to give to other public holders? It means that you just have to plan your exit. If you've planned to steal, then plan your exit so you leave the jurisdiction. Whenever your party comes into power, you can negotiate something and come back. And I don't think that's a message that we want to send to our public office holders. They have to understand that wherever you go, that basic responsibility on your part to account to the Ghanaian people will be enforced. Government will do everything in its power to enforce that responsibility. Ken left because, according to him, he was seeking medical attention. And I think the OSP allowed him to go and seek that medical attention. I believe that there was a first date that was given, and then they came back and said they needed more time. And I believe that time was extended. And during that whole period, he was left alone. But the story just kept changing and changing and changing. And now we know, or we are being told, if it is true, that his son is applying for permanent residency for him, which means that you have zero intention of coming back. And so it's unfortunate.
We have people who are permanent residents in America.
No, that is, yeah, but were they controlling your money? Were they controlling my money? Were they controlling everybody in this country's monies? And did things go badly wrong under their tenure? Is there no reason, legitimate reason to ask for an explanation? That's all.
Why did we trust a man without public purse, and yet we don't trust that he says he's unwell and that when he is well, he will return?
Well, I think, is it not for him to produce the medical support for that? I think when he did, he was left alone. Did the Mayo Clinic not write at one point?
They did?
Yeah, and was he not left alone?
The Attorney General made a very interesting point that, but there are people...
You can't just do that with your mouth.
And they're getting treatment here.
And they are. And that's another, that's another conversation, because we need to...
We looked at the health.
Yeah, the Nigerian author, Chimamanda, she lost her son very tragically. And my condolences to the family. Honestly, when I heard it, it was too much. So, you can't just say with your mouth that you're ill. If you're unwell, your doctors will, even if you are, even fit notes for just regular work, 9 to 5 in your office. If you are not well, you can produce a fit note or from your doctor to give to whoever is in HR in Joy. So the point is that if this thing of this kind of magnitude, the same way that the Mayo Clinic wrote the first time to confirm that he would be undergoing a procedure, etc., etc., and I think it was the OSP at the time who was dealing with it, it was respected, as it should be. Because as for health, you can't joke with health. It's all that we all have. But where are the letters to back this latest assertions, if indeed there's still some kind of, he's still not fully recovered?
Now, what happens to the laws that allows the Attorney General or other investigative bodies to still go on with their work? What happens to that then?
No, they can go on with their work. I don't know what, I cannot speak for the Attorney General. I cannot speak for the OSP. I cannot speak for any of these law enforcement bodies. But what I can say is that I see nothing wrong in the Attorney General bringing Ken back to account to all of us. I really don't see anything wrong with it. I have held public office before. There's nothing wrong. I mean, you should be willing to account. And did Ken's wife, did Angela not come on to tell everybody that he would come back as soon as he's okay?
Yeah.
So if he's not okay, then bring a medical report to show that he's not okay. Right now, the horse has bolted because it's no longer in his hands or anybody else's hands. It's in the hands of the U.S. authorities.
Yeah.
In the hands of ICE.
What does that mean, the revocation of his visa? What does that mean?
Well,
what could trigger that, especially because the Attorney General says that they're not just bystanders, they have been working closely with the authorities. Well, what does that mean, General?
I mean, so if you're going to the US and you have your visa, it allows you to cross any of their ports of entries legally. Once you cross and you are in their country, the only thing that will keep you there is your immigration status, and that's regulated by ICE, and that can change at any time. So that can change even though your visa on the face of it may still be valid. Because his lawyers came and told us that his visa will expire next month.
Yes.
However, this has happened, and now we know why this happened, because we were all wondering that if he has a valid visa and is there legally, then why would ICE come? ICE only comes in if there's an issue with your immigration status.
Yeah.
Yes, so now, following the Attorney General's explanation, we now understand why ICE has stepped in. Because we now know from the Attorney General that his visa was actually revoked. Now, from the minute your visa is revoked, you are now illegal if you stay beyond the date that they've given you to prepare yourself and voluntarily leave their territory. And
the Attorney General says it was up in November,
end of November, exactly.
All right.
So up until then, he was there legally.
Okay.
You see, but from the 30th, from midnight on the 29th of November, you now became an illegal, overstayer. Basically. And so at that point, ICE can come at any time and remove you and prepare you for deportation. So now that he's in their care, their custody, I should say, deportation is also not automatic. You need an order, a removal order, a final removal order from a judge before you can be deported. So I'm sure he'll be fighting.
He appears before an immigration judge or
yes, so ICE will then show why the removal order should be given at that point. And then if he can either come voluntarily to Ghana or deported, or he can appeal the decision. And that's that can be quite a long process.
Okay.
Because the first appeal goes to the Board of Immigration Appeals. And then if that also doesn't work, in terms of if they also uphold the first decision, then you may, in certain limited circumstances, appeal to the federal courts. But they don't retry the facts. They just look at errors and things like that. So it's not...
By which you still be in custody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. David, I saw that you were smiling at a few things that Doc had said, and I saw...
Yeah, I think that Ken's behavior, is not actually bringing his image to disrepute and embarrassing himself and his family alone. It is what is bringing the entire country's image into ridicule. You're talking about a man who held our public purse for 8 years. And this same country will give you the opportunity to serve, want you to come and account for your stewardship. and you refuse to come, I think that his behavior is becoming unbecoming. And I think I want to call on Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, the former president of this country, to call on his finance minister to see reason why he must account. I don't know why the MPP is fan of this. When you are given a responsibility and you accept the responsibility wholeheartedly and you enjoy all the privileges that it comes with, all the good pays and everything, when it is time for you to account, then they decide to run away. I don't know why.
How is this the MPP's matter?
Yes.
Particularly?
Yes.
So far...
And I'm talking about appointees within their government.
Okay.
Appointees in the MPP, Akufo-Addo's government. You remember when we went to court on the 2020 elections and Jane Mensah was called to come and account? This woman elected not to appear. Goodness. But look at what happened when her predecessor, what's the name? Afari-Gyan. Afari-Gyan was always at the doorsteps of Supreme Court before the gate is even open, because he knew that everything he did with good conscience, he did according to law, and he was ready to account.
If we do that, are we not undermining the law that allows a person to elect to appear before a court?
I am saying that you may have the choice, but you see, you're not dealing with an individual issue. You're not dealing with issues with your private companies. You're dealing with a nation. You are dealing with a country that has given you a responsibility. You sworn an oath to enter that office and to work for their country. I don't think that you should
start to elect a few.
I mean.
Okay.
And that is wrong.
Okay, but what do you
look at Sadinam's thing you were talking about now. Mm-hmm. Why should we allow somebody who is alleged to have caused all these financial loss to the state, in some cases stealing money?
Not alleged, convicted. She was convicted.
Taken to court, convicted by a court of competent coordinate, be allowed to enjoy herself outside there. What are you telling those that are having positions now? Again, like lawyer said, what you are telling them is that all you need to do is to prepare a place for your abode outside the jurisdictions, the coordinate of this country. Once you finish stealing, you just go and have yourself enjoyed out there. Is that the kind of country we want to build? Can Ken Ofori-Atta himself even elect to come to this country, to even organize press conference and explain issues that are leveled against him? That is a hallmark of an individual who serves his country with a conscience that is not doubted.
No doubt, but he's unwell.
Again, who says he's unwell?
He's the medical.
So as we speak now, you are a very nice journalist. I've always watched you, count 3 journalists in this country, one of the very finest journalists. Have you seen any medical report from any hospital that's explained to you that Ken Ofori-Atta is suffering from a particular illness, that he cannot come to Ghana to explain to the Ghanaians about the work he did for Ghana, holding the whole purse of the country for 8 years? Have you seen anything like that?
Well,
let's not be doing this. You see, Bible says that you have rights to everything, but you don't allow anything to suppress you. Okay? Let's not be doing this to our country. Use semantics and so many petty excuses. And why are we doing this? We've seen many countries, when you travel to other countries, very beautiful countries, good infrastructure, good roads, good services there. The angels didn't drop from heaven to come and build those countries. They build the countries themselves.
What you say to
our own country?
What you say to
when you come to government?
The OSP allowed him.
When you come to government, and you are able to steal, then you cover yourself with so many excuses, and then we allow you to go. What are we telling those that are also occupying various positions today?
Unless
OSP.
Yes, people
OSP.
say. In fact, Vicky makes that explanation that it's only okay if you say that you're unwell, you need to seek some medical attention abroad. The OSP allowed it.
You see,
these are the reasons he allowed
I had my own doubts from day one about Kisi Ajaben's ability to prosecute these kind of issues properly as a special prosecutor. I had my own doubt, and I have the right to have my doubt about him. This is a man whom I understand have been a lawyer to this same Ofori-Atta before. Okay? This is a man who have no reason whatsoever, any justification of Ofori-Atta's claim of being ill, and that illness could not be taken care of in this country, but allow him to travel abroad to seek medical attention, where in your own statement, there are so many cases that he's supposed to answer. Will you have that privilege, my dear?
Well,
would you have that privilege if you were the one? If I was the one, will I have that kind of privilege? The OSP didn't even tell anybody.
But if we do that, we'll doubt all the attorney generals that we have had in this country. Why? Because attorney generals usually would have their private businesses or working with and for somebody at some point in their life.
No, I am saying to you that your deed, your deeds, things you do, would then lead one variable to the other to draw a conclusion. I am saying that OSP should have demonstrated to Ghanaians that I have seen a medical report, a request from a doctor from a hospital in Ghana that is saying that this illness that this man is suffering from, we cannot take care of it, and that giving him permission to travel abroad. I don't know anybody have seen that.
To be fair, all of his updates and all of his press briefings, he didn't specifically say that because Ken was unwell, that's why he allowed him.
So why did you allow somebody you claim had done so much in this country to travel? Powers what?
Hold on.
But
he mentioned, he said that he left at the time that his cousin was president. How about that? Does that mean anything?
Hold on. So you see the cartel, you see that grouping, these kind of people, how they do their things, and that if your cousin is a president of the Republic of Ghana and you are accused of stealing money, causing financial loss to the state, you that have held this purse for more than 8 years, once your cousin is a president of the country, you have the right to run away.
What ground
is that kind of thing we want to do in this country?
Prevented him from not traveling.
You understand?
On the face of.
But I'm saying that if you are accused of something, okay, and you claim you're ill, why you have to travel? I think because you've been accused of something, you should be able to answer to it. You must have a justifiable ground.
Which means that your concern and your problem is with Ken Ofori-Atta and his conduct and his behavior.
Exactly.
Which means that even if we had Jesus Christ to be the OSP and Ken had this particular posture still, that
now I'm saying that for the fact that some of the explanation is that because his cousin was the president at the time, he had the right to travel, was my problem. I mean, so it means that once you have your relative in government, you should steal and do anything you want to do and get away with it because you have a relative in government. But at the time,
there were no charges.
Is that the things we want to do? Okay, because listen. Now Ken Ofori-Atta is outside this country. Then his visa was revoked. Then he decided to stay in America until the time given to him to return to his country expires. And he's been picked by the ICE and is in detention now. I wonder how he's managing his supposed illness.
I don't know how.
I wonder how he's managing it anyway.
Vicky, I don't know how it looks, but
now he's in detention.
are your basic human rights taken away from you?
Yes. I think the U.S. authorities will observe his basic human rights.
So you see,
I don't think they will be abusing his rights.
So you see,
I mean,
the fact that Ofori-Atta himself cannot come to this country, face Ghanaians, and tell them A, B, C, D, E that I did. I mean, there are many, there've been many, finance ministers in this country before. Tell me one of them that had run away from this country
the
after
thing
their
is,
tenure of
if you
office.
don't want to account, don't hold public office.
Do you understand?
Nobody is forcing you.
How do you? And I heard Kwabena said so many things. Try him in absentia. If he's guilty, we've seen one before. Try him in absentia if he's guilty. I mean, we're talking about, is it Sedinam that we're talking about now? So try him in absentia if he's guilty, as if he handled his private property, private company, private situation, and decided not to. You're talking about somebody who had handled the purse of this country for 8 years.
No,
it's not like an individual issue.
What do you want to say?
Why do we glorify things like this?
Nobody forces anyone to hold public
Absolutely.
office. If you are offered a public position and you opt to accept it, be prepared to account for your stewardship, period.
Okay. Doc,
This is disgracing all Ghanaians in the whole world. It's disgracing all of us.
My brother, who is a member of
It's wrong.
would be very careful or would be minded of some of the words that he uses.
Okay.
Steve, when you use words and make them definite. It doesn't lie in your mouth. You can suspect. Even the Attorney General, when he's going to court, he uses the word alleged. It's an allegation. You're sitting here. You're already passing guilt. But let's face it. Here is Sedinata Maklo, who is a convict. And here is Ken Ofori-Atta, who is a suspect. We are more concerned about a suspect who is yet to be taken through the protocols and be convicted, or not be convicted. Those are the two possibilities. We are more concerned with that one than one that is concluded. But here is the point. When it comes to accountability, my dear sister, accountability does not begin when you have ended your tenure. No. Our Constitution is clear and unambiguous about it.
It starts from the minute you occupy the position.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So to make it look like it is only when one has left office that they will account for their office or their term or their tenure is erroneous.
No. Differently.
It's
I'm coming.
It's a continuum.
Yes. So the accountability issue. Let's not make it look as if Ken Ofori-Atta was Minister for Finance, and for 8 or almost 8 years, I think it was about 7 years, he was not accountable.
Oh, how?
Is that the case?
How?
No,
he was accountable to what?
Oh, please.
He was
not accountable to anything.
Responsibility and doing what you're supposed to do.
You are just justifying that because the cousin was president, he had the right to travel and stand on to account.
You see,
that guy would have accounted to Ghanaians while he was in office.
You are a member of parliament.
Come on.
You are a member of parliament. I will beg you that we use language that is decorous.
No, but that is the truth.
I'm coming.
Somebody who
I am sitting.
You don't want us to say
I am
this.
sitting. You are certain
You're
that.
my brother.
No, please. I don't.
You don't want us to say it.
I don't. Accused. He didn't say that.
Accused of so many wrongdoings.
Please.
You don't want us to say that?
Oh.
And that he should not come and account for his stewardship.
He has a challenge.
This is simple.
But he has just qualified it.
It is an allegation. I agree with you. Come and justify the reason why you did not steal.
You make conversing with you on something.
It's easy.
You make it difficult.
Okay.
You have your point. This is what I'm saying.
Please.
I don't see why, as a country, we should burden ourselves with this. This conversation is needless.
Really?
I'll tell you why. The man is suspected of wrongdoing. We have started the process of proving that wrongdoing. The state says that we need that person to come and help us prove his complicity or his involvement in that wrongdoing.
Yes.
in order to give him a fair hearing. The man is behaving, and it is clear that he doesn't want to go through the process of the state offering him that chance. But the lawmakers, the framers of the law, anticipated scenarios like this and created an answer for it, that when an accused person, a person suspected of wrongdoing, is proving difficult to cooperate with the state agencies to offer him justice or fair hearing, the state is not stopped. The state is not encumbered from going ahead. But the state can please, let me make my point.
Okay.
So for somebody who is proving difficult for the state, there are avenues. Unless we say that there are no such avenues. I'm saying that given the practical experience we have had, rather than sitting here and lamenting that the man is running away from accountability, the man thinks his brother or his cousin was a president, whoever, the law is no respecter of person. Even the president, within a certain period upon exit, I think it's within 3 years or so, he can be prosecuted for things that he did.
Okay.
When that period expires, that is when we cannot, or he's immune from prosecution. So I'm saying that let the state, so convinced of any wrongdoing, build our case and do the needful.
And I'm saying that
it will spare all of us. Yes. So if the state is doing that, I'm saying it is negative to he can.
To get him.
It is a negative indictment on or an indictment on he can that look.
But the two things are not mutually exclusive. They are doing that, but they are also trying to bring him back.
I am not saying don't bring him back. I'm saying that
so
you can bring him back without the noise.
So what are you saying?
What is the noise about? What am I saying? What I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that you are going through protocols to bring him back. Whilst you are making those attempts, the issue, which is the reason for which you want to bring him back, is for him to face justice. And that justice is about answering to offenses you allege he has committed. Go ahead with that path.
But they are going ahead with it.
Where is it?
At the same time,
where is it? Where they are going ahead with it? Where?
Where?
Yeah, I'm trying
Before which court?
Before
which court?
Has he been formally?
No, which court? Which court has he appeared?
Was he?
Look for it.
Yeah, the people that I know some of the other people
together with.
Yes.
It's not just him.
Yeah,
so what I'm saying is that let us go ahead. I think that
it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Honestly. Well, my sister, the point is that I think differently. I'm saying that the trial can go on even in his absence. You think that the trial must go on with his presence?
No.
I'm coming. Please. And I'm the last person to say that somebody who has held public office should be made to flee or run away from accountability.
But they are doing
I seek
both.
accountability.
I don't understand because
so for me,
both.
Well, you are saying it. From what I'm seeing, I'm saying that I am not seeing the prosecution bit. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard what charges he is answering, and his lawyers.
We need to verify whether
his lawyers has entered appearance. Whether his lawyers have entered.
To check that.
Yes. So those are the things that should be put out. And that said, look, this is a nation we are building. If we're all to think in one way, we will not be diverse.
Of course, but
there's diversity.
Yeah.
My view is that there are a lot of the time talk about allegations of corruption that as a people we end up proving none. I have been in this political space. I'm coming.
I've just found it. So
has he been charged?
Yes. In the Superior Court of Judicature, in the High Court.
That's right.
The Criminal Division, the Republic versus #1, Kenneth Nanaya
Ofori-Atta. So he has been charged.
And it's Darko Akori and the others.
Then the rest.
In the rest of it. There were 8 of them. And the count of charges as well over there.
So they are
I recall that we reported this story that the investigative bodies had started with as to where they are with it I don't know, but
my point is this. This is my point.
So,
okay.
and also,
Let's go ahead with this. Has he been served? What has his lawyers done? Have they? Those are the areas we should be concerned with.
No.
And that for me,
I don't understand.
that for
why
me,
you can't do both.
You don't have to. I didn't say you can't do both. I'm saying.
So then what are you arguing about?
Please,
So what is the issue?
please. I'm saying there is this noise about Ken Ofori-Atta must be in Ghana to account. If you are in court, if you are in court right now, is he not going to account?
So can we separate the two?
No.
Where the
No.
I'm not even.
not in the
wait.
My concern here. Let me.
So what is the court case?
Let me just reroute.
Listen.
What I'm saying is that can we separate the two of people in the public domain saying that he must come to account physically, and what the investigative bodies are
actually
doing.
So the point is
that is what we should focus on.
So the point is this: Ken Ofori-Atta did not hold his private company and run his private company.
Okay.
And been found to have perpetrated any wrongdoing.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
And that he's been looked for to come and answer
Because that
so
does
much
not concern
question.
us.
That is his own
It's
business.
his private.
In fact,
that's
the people
We're talking
have the
about-
right to demand that.
Hold on. We're talking about an individual
hey.
who've been given the power, the responsibility to hold you and I, our pets, for 8 good years. You can't be rating such a person to the person that maybe might have run his own private thing and say, hey, try me in abstention. If I'm guilty, that's your business. That's not what it is.
And I'll
Again,
file
there
for
are two
permanent
things we're
residency
looking
and
at.
not come back.
We
Do
are
whatever
calling
you want.
somebody who
These are
held our
financial.
purse to come and account. Hold on, to come and account.
How is it
to
relevant
come
to this
and
matter?
account? And you are saying that he can decide not to come, and that we should go ahead. Hold on.
Is that what I said?
Oh,
Look at this.
my God.
Misrepresentation.
And that he
Is that what I said?
And that he should.
You are sitting on set with me and you are misrepresenting.
Hold on.
What do you do?
Okay,
Hold on.
What joke is that?
Hold on.
Reroute.
And that he should.
No, please,
try-
don't do this.
The reroute.
Oh God!
Reroute.
What you are suggesting is that Ofori-Atta
I'm
have
not
the
joking on set.
right.
I'm here.
Yeah.
You are
Hold
misrepresenting
on.
my wife.
Yeah, of course, I'm not misrepresenting you.
You are
what
not.
you said was that Ofori-Atta have the right to decide not to come.
Is that what I said?
Try it in
Is that what I
abstention.
said?
You say you have that right. I am saying to you that this is not a person whom we're dealing with as an individual office holder. We're talking about a whole public office holder.
And
It's
rights are
different.
aggregated.
It's different.
Rights
You
are
must
aggregated.
come and account
Some
to
have
the
some rights, some
people.
don't have some rights.
But if you
Read your constitution again.
you say that Ofori-Atta, yes, of
What
course,
is that?
we are already in court.
Even a convicted
on some
member
of the
has
matters.
rights.
We are in court on and that is what we learned from. And that is why we don't want to continue to say we are trying the abstention alone. We've learned from Sedinam's issue. And so once we've learned from that, we must do the right thing. This is a person who held our purse for 8 years, and then he's been alleged to have perpetrated some wrongdoing, stealing allegedly, and so he should come and account.
Okay.
And you are saying
the way I see
he can decide to come or not, and that is his right.
Give me a
The
minute.
way I see
Not
it,
all the rights are available to public holders. No.
Inherently.
the way I see it
No.
is that
You can't do that.
the way I see it is that government has decided to take a two-pronged approach.
Right.
And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that approach. They are going ahead in Ghana with the case. At the same time, they are exploring the other avenues to bring Ken Ofori-Atta back to his country.
Okay.
That's all.
Doc, I recall when we started the conversation, you were of the point that some of these things can amount to theatrics.
That's what we're doing. Look at the amount of time we spent talking about this. Needless.
And you think it's needless?
No.
The point has been made.
You can't say
The point has been made. Look at the things you've said. You want me to go through them one by one?
No, of course. I
You
know
jump
what I
from an
said.
individual case and stretch it to affect the entire party?
Yes.
It is in the party.
And that has been the character of the past administration.
You went to talk to Afarijan. The EC is representing a party.
Listen, I am saying to you,
What is this?
that the character of the MPP Nana Dankwa led administration
And Afarijan, Dr. Afarijan was NDC.
David.
It's becoming unbecoming when you finish your tenure of of office and we ask you to account.
So what was the business of Dr.
And you
Afarijan?
decide not to account. And I've given example that Afarijan accounted accounted for the people. It doesn't matter what party you are.
But you were talking
Jemensa was appointed by the Akufo-Addo and he decided not to account to the people. Ofori-Atta appointed by Akufo-Addo decided not to account to the people. And you are saying because his uncle, his cousin was president, and that he should not come to this country.
Why are you doing this?
Using
please
languages. I don't think all of him meant you.
How can we do this?
David.
I mean, Kwabena, you know too much.
David, it's okay.
This is not fair to the Ghanaians.
So
it's not fair.
Doc, my concern is that if we wake up in
and what are you telling the young ones that are going? What are you telling them?
Issues, I think it's the same as important as inflation rate as well.
What is it?
This is why we invite. It's very important to discuss.
But everybody enters public office. All he does is to go and steal and get away with it.
Are you stealing? You're in politics. Are you stealing?
Everybody wants to go and steal and get away with it. Come and account. You say I won't come.
Are you stealing?
Come and account. You say I won't come. And then you are sitting.
Are you stealing?
Defending that behavior.
You defended.
Jesus
Shame on you for using that.
You are defending that behavior.
You listen to
that Ofori-Atta should not come and account.
I said that.
Oh.
Should I go for a break?
It is your show, my dear.
Should I go for a break?
It is your show.
Because
it is your show.
I'm
disappointed this time. I mean,
no, okay.
Disappointed.
I want to just find out from
all of us should be calling Ofori-Atta to come to this country. All of us, including your good self. All of us.
It's just Vicky and I that are quiet. And that's not how I planned the new year.
New year will go well, my dear.
Okay. I'm saying that I'm just curious about how Doug arrived at the conclusion that some of these things are just theatrics. Maybe he has privileged information. You know, maybe he has looked at a few things he put together to say that this is just theater. You can do what you have to do. What is the needless talk? What amounts to needless talk? Surely you know what we're doing now. What really, apart from what we're doing today, what amounts to the needless talk? One, people have said that the critics of the AG says that why there are plenty press briefings? Is that an example of needless talk? What are some of the things that he's seen, he's put together and say that they're theater? You can get this two-pronged approach that you're using still done without talking. Doug is here, and that's what I'm very curious about. Do you have any insider information that makes you feel that what they're doing is just theater, Doug?
September 2025. We're in 2026. The General Secretary of the party that birthed President Mohammed's government, and I don't believe in party governments because our constitution doesn't say so. It is a president who is elected, maybe on the ticket of a party, and it could even be independent. That the General Secretary, and to the credit of he and the national chairman of the party, they have worked to make sure that whilst President Mahama is doing well, particularly with the uptakes and certain manifesto commitments in his first year, the party on whose ticket he was elected is also checkmating the government. He came to tell us in September that many of their ministers are cutting deals. He made this a public statement. Who has followed that up?
You said President Mahama said many ministers are cutting deals?
No, he says...
You are sitting here. You will not even listen.
No, it's okay. It's my duty.
You won't listen.
No, it's my duty to just reroute the conversation. So,
please,
September 2025.
General Secretary said...
General Secretary and National Chairman.
I can...
The two.
Yes.
The General Secretary...
That many ministers are cutting deals.
The state
some of the ministers are cutting
some
deals.
or many, I'm not too sure the word, but...
General Secretary said that.
Well, it's not in doubt.
Take it. That is it.
You can fact check it yourself.
Cutting deals.
But I mean...
But what if I take? You see, wait. You see, the point I'm making is that...
Can I read it?
A lot of the time...
Do you want me to read it?
I'll find it myself.
Read it.
Eh?
No, that is from his private phone. So I'll
read it.
I'll find the source myself.
Okay, then please find and read.
And I'll provide
so you will understand that there's no mentioning of minister in the statement.
What was rather mentioned?
Okay, so I will tell you. We have names of party bigwigs.
Wigs.
party bigwigs cutting deals with corrupt officials of previous government. Fifi Kote, he never mentioned any
Is this not
minister.
something to be worried about?
He never mentioned any minister.
You wait.
If you have an individual, so if you have an individual who is walking around claiming he can cut
David, no, David, hang on. You don't have your
You
turn.
see,
I asked him a question. He was
that
going
is what
somewhere
he
with
said.
it.
He never
David,
mentioned any minister.
No, I'm not going to allow that.
No minister.
No, I am saying
when
that.
you say big, you see,
It means leaders.
wait. You see, Vondee.
Yes, sir.
With the greatest respect, we are on set, and that's why I decry this theater kind of politics we do in our country. Come and sit on set and joke about things and say things we don't mean and refuse to say the things that we mean. I'm not interested in that. Look, there are a lot of things that have been said publicly about people, past, present officials. When push has come to shove, we fail to prove them beyond the talk. We have called former presidents thieves in this country. We have called former ministers of state corrupt officials in this country. And yet, many of them are working without a single charge, even in a court of law. Some were even picked by state officials, detained, and told they were going to be prosecuted. It ended up a fluke. We have seen it within the about 33 years of our fourth Republican Constitution running. It is based on this kind of thing that I talk about theater. Two, there have been times when people say things, and when they are asked to prove them, we've got to say, oh, we either heard it from somewhere, read it from somewhere, or oh, it was a joke. You are a member of parliament. How many times have ministers, both in the past regime and the present regime, before the appointments committee of parliament, when pushed to prove things that they were saying or said, not respond that, oh, it was on a lighter note, or perhaps I didn't mean it, and some they've had to drag them, insisting on apologies. How many times haven't you heard that in Parliament, the House of Record?
But Doug,
now here is my point.
Okay.
In this particular instance, what I am saying, which is not different from what my sister is saying, except that she is insisting on a certain physical presence as part of her two-pronged approach whilst the case is traveling in court. I'm saying that, bottom line, whether he is here physically
I'm not
present,
insisting.
Okay, fine. Then if you are not insisting, then we're on the same page.
They are doing a two-pronged approach, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And I'm not saying, what I'm saying is that the other side of he must be here, overplaying that becomes theater, because bottom line, the most important thing is the first line of the court. That is where we will get justice.
Yes, but do we really have justice?
So I'm saying that you want to have a two-pronged approach where you are saying he should be present. I'm saying the insistence on his presence or non-insistence of his presence will all bottle down to the fact that the prosecution takes place.
So both David and Vicky here say that what is justice if from what we have seen people were convicted and yet they were not here to face the punishment for it?
You see, MFA, I'm sitting here. I don't see what is difficult in you saying people, statistics matter. How many people have been prosecuted and sentenced and are not available to face it? We can only talk about that of my sister Sedinata Maklu. Is there any other?
Must we wait till they attend?
No. Oh, you are not listening. That is one. And I'm saying that even Sedina's case, we have allowed it because she is too small as a citizen of this country to flee justice.
Please hold on for me just right there. I'm under the impression that extradition processes are quite cumbersome.
They're very
regardless.
cumbersome. It involves
the law kind of makes
diplomacy.
You rather not have the person extradited.
The U.S. Secretary, State Department. It involves the U.S. federal courts. It's a very long and cumbersome process.
But what kind of laws protect these people that are sovereign than a
No, you have to follow due process.
And that due
for
process,
extradition.
what is it?
And the courts over there have to satisfy themselves of the case that you've presented to them. So they examine it meticulously because they are allowing someone to be removed forcibly from their territory to be handed over to you. So that's a complete, whereas the ICE procedure is purely administrative.
I understand. So it doesn't even matter if a person is being convicted here. We've got finality to their matter. It's not enough that the country provides.
They will always examine it. They will always examine it.
Can I finish?
They will always.
See?
Okay, it's just I needed that clarity on because he is on the leg that
Pardon?
these people who are involved are smaller than the country, Ghana. If you find them guilty as a country, you should be able to bring them to Ghana. And I'm asking. We have, so far, maybe said Natamaklo, and it's unfortunate because that's a woman that I love personally, unfortunately. But we're saying that we're not able to bring her here.
Is that what we said?
He is saying...
I'm saying we haven't made the effort.
We
haven't.
No, I think that...
I don't think so. I will tell you.
Okay.
If we have made the effort, prove that effort to me.
I can only take what the Attorney General says.
And how is that public to us? What did the Attorney General say? You see, the extradition process itself... taking someone through extradition, I think is itself punishing enough that it is out there that you are being extradited. If you are a human being with conscience and you allow yourself to be taken through that process, that's another matter. But back to this Ofori-Atta matter. Is it true or false that he wrote to the chief of staff before leaving?
I mean, these. I can only take
what we have been told in the press.
Yes.
It is a point reported that he wrote. That's what I'm saying. That behind the scenes, things have happened that allowed the man to leave this country.
Okay.
He is out there, and I'm saying you have been asking him to come back. He says, "I will come," and he's never coming. One excuse upon the other. I am saying that. When you are faced with such a situation, the framers of the law and the law makes room to deal with such situations. So rather than dwell on that attempt to bring him back, which is proving difficult, proceed. Because bottom line, if you succeed in bringing him back, it is this thing you are going to do. And now I'm saying, I'm told that I'm defending him. What have I said in defense of Ken Ofori-Atta here? Vondee, what have I said in defense of Ken Ofori-Atta? That he has done nothing wrong?
Well,
have I said that?
Do you hear, Dog? Because
don't listen to me.
Currently, it's difficult to extradite him. If you convict him and you find him guilty, it's going to be difficult to extradite him.
It's actually harder to extradite someone if they've been found guilty in absentia than it is to get them to come to actually stand trial.
Okay.
Because the U.S. will always go meticulously through due process. And in that situation, they would argue, or Ken's lawyers would argue the whole political motivation, blah, 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 all that kind of thing, that he was denied natural justice, he wasn't present, etc., etc. The extradition process is process-driven. It's not verdict-driven. So the fact that you come up with a verdict here saying he's guilty doesn't then mean that, automatically because he's been through, allegedly been through a trial or whatever, and you just take the guilty verdict there, they'll send. No, it doesn't. It's actually harder. It's harder.
So my point is that, you see, this is where I have a problem.
So the Attorney General will
even when Ken is here, you know why the joke thing I'm talking about. Even when Ken comes or he's here, Ken is not guilty. So this whole conversation to make it look like the guy is guilty, he's convicted,
I don't think that's how the whole conversation.
That's the impression.
At least not this one.
I'm saying that is the impression that is being created. He has stolen money. You've stolen public money. Come and hold account for it. You don't want to account for it. That impression is bad enough for our public space. I'm saying that He's presumed to be innocent until proven
Yes,
guilty.
so he should prove it.
Hold on.
That's all.
Ken is making his own case difficult, in my view. If I were him, I will not. But I'm not him. The point is that Ken has enough ties in Ghana that if our government is serious about bringing him back, he will be brought or he will be here.
But that's what.
And I'm saying, oh, please. As for you saying that I'm trying to do something is one thing and you actually doing that another. My point is simple, that if the state is serious about
actually doing that look like for you?
Okay, yeah,
I'll come
that's
to
a good
David.
question. Yeah,
What will actually
that's a good question.
holding Ken Ofori-Atta accountable look like? How would that look for you?
rolling back the house that he left.
What is
He
that?
wrote to offices.
Okay.
Those offices that he wrote to. Again, he has relations in Ghana here. He has ties. Use them.
How?
How?
Legally?
How does this?
can you-
Of course, what I'm saying about how? Okay, legally, how did he go out?
Well, because at the time,
he just went out. I mean, his cousin was president. He wrote the necessary letters and he left.
That's it.
That's how he went out with a visa.
Please.
He
Ken
left.
Ofori-Atta, when did Ken Ofori-Atta leave Ghana? Was it under President Mahama's presidency or it was under President Akufo-Addo?
no, I think
Oh,
at the
actually,
time he
I
was
think
very
Mahama-
critical.
Mama was president.
No, he was president, but had not been
But-
sworn in.
Please,
Wasn't it in the transition period?
No, please,
It was
please
in the-
check the dates again. President Mahama was president. There was a chief of staff in place. It wasn't under
No,
President
I can only
Akufo-Addo.
work with what the
okay,
OSP
fair
says.
enough.
So this thing about his cousin is the reason.
I think Emma's first
is a
question
fluke.
is a good one. I am also interested in the response to that. How you're saying?
Oh, well, I am. If the state, I'm saying, if the state is having difficulty, they should consult me at a fee, and I will advise them on how, and not on set. I've already offered enough advice publicly. If it is not enough advice and they want more, let the state consult me.
What's the advice?
And at a fee. Well, I'm telling you, come on, what is difficult about facing justice?
Okay,
It's my
David,
turn.
it's your turn.
Yes.
Thank God it's my turn at least. You see, trying a criminal, prosecution is not an easy thing because you are asking the court to curtail somebody's rights, take him out of all his privileges, and go keep him somewhere. It is not a joke. And so it is important to give the person fair hearing. And all lawyers know that. And I'll give you a typical example. Do you know that when you even serve somebody through his lawyer, and the lawyer looks at the case, okay, and knows that there is some level of merit in what you are alleging, the lawyer will intentionally, it is a normal trick that lawyers do, will tell you that I don't have my client's, permission to even take the service, just to prolong the matter. So you have to go and look for the client himself, and something is happening to me actually. Go and look for the client himself and serve him and all that. These are some of the things that lawyers do. Listen, I tell you what, if Ofori-Atta is tried in absentia, right, and the lawyers can even elect not to go to the court because Ofori-Atta did not appoint any lawyer on notice.
Who suffers?
Hold on. Ofori-Atta, all the cases can be done and everything. Then you will want to bring him back here to come and serve his term. If you find him guilty, you know what happens? Like my sister is explaining to you, the first thing they will put out there is that he's not been given the fair hearing. That is against natural justice. Okay? Again,
When you can prove that you've
can I make my point?
For extradition, it won't work.
Again,
It's very hard. It's a very high bar.
Again,
Very high bar.
Ofori-Atta did not run his own private company enterprise. He ran Ghana. And so, Ghana is asking you, Ofori, come back and give an account on the jobs you did for Ghana, of which we duly paid you. Ofori, you were taking all the privileges, all the l'argent, all the big pay. You were enjoying all of them. You accepted the job not under gunpoint nor duress. You wholeheartedly accepted to work. Remember, after 4 years in Akufo-Addo's office when they went for the second term, Ofori-Atta was ill. Okay? They reserved the position for this man for more than how long? To come and hold the position willingly. Why won't you come and account?
And
why should everybody be saying, Ofori-Atta, come and account, and you alone, you decide not to come? I urge the Attorney General of Ghana, and that's my very good friend, to use every legitimate means to bring Ofori-Atta and all other individuals that are found to have, done something against this country, either in this administration or the past administration, to come and face whatever justice they must face, because if we do not do that, we will not encourage others who are holding positions in this country to behave the way they ought to behave. What we are encouraging today is that if Akufo-Addo will not help us, if Ghanaians will not help us to bring Ofori-Atta to come and account, what we are doing is that we are preparing a very fertile grounds of all people who are holding public office to steal as much as they can, allegedly. When they finish their tenure of office, then they should go away.
Okay.
All
we're wrapping
is that they should just
segment.
look for a place outside
David,
there
with the same energy,
go and stay.
The issue that Doc Ashili advanced, that we have names of party bigwigs cutting deals with corrupt officials of previous governments, so that we don't get to the point where now the person has served.
You see,
and then the person has traveled.
The General Secretary of our party, Honorable Fifi Kote, sits in a privileged position. And I think that if there are big wings who are truly cutting deals, I think that some of them or all of them that we know with evidence must be reported to the police or to the appropriate authorities for investigation to continue. I give you a typical.
But do you agree that until then, because this is September 25th, and nothing of that sort has been done, would you agree?
Hold on. A statement that was put out by the General Secretary in itself cannot be a prima facie case to warrant investigation. I am saying that if there's any evidence, hold on, I'm saying that if there's any evidence, if there is any evidence,
so you're just
did I mention that? You were just here saying that I was taking words out of your mouth wrongly.
Are you suggesting?
Suggesting what? Is that the meaning you are picking from what I'm saying? You have the right to do so. You have the right to do so, not me.
Vicky.
But I don't think
he
talks careless.
So for me,
if he doesn't talk
remember
careless.
His Excellency Mahama when there was an allegation of
if he doesn't talk careless.
Some allegation of Galamsey issue against some of his party people, Abanga and and that he called the. Yes. We are asking that when people make allegations,
Yoko to investigate.
When people make allegations, they must be investigated.
What happened?
I'm not talking about anybody different from anybody.
What happened?
Everybody. Everybody. And that is why it is important for Ofori-Atta to come to this country, to come and account. But I don't know why you are... people should defend Ofori-Atta's behavior. Their party people are not even defending. You come and sit here and defend him. I don't know why you should do that.
Thank you so much, also, for joining.
I don't know why you should do that
this morning. Please.
But now you know better.
We should get serious with our politics in Ghana. The jokes are too many. The theater must